Welcome back to 3 Minutes with Matthew, where you get to come and daily, digitally, come in for a thought and an update, all from a biblical worldview, and all in under 3 minutes. So we got the timer up, and the time starts right now. You see, in the Bible, we have these books called 2nd Kings and 2nd Chronicles, and they highlight for us the biblical history of God's people as the kingdoms were divided. Most of the chapters describe the various leaders of God's people and their own walks with the Lord. Most of the time, unfortunately, the leaders and the kings lead God's people away into idolatry and wickedness, but there are a few godly men, a few godly kings. One of them is named Hezekiah. Hezekiah was a godly man who rules over Judah. Now he sees the fall of the Israel kingdom to the north as the Assyrians come and they expand on their kingdom. And Hezekiah very soon also faces the same threat himself. And as the Assyrian army, chapters later, surrounds the city of Jerusalem, Hezekiah has a decision to make. Is he going to surrender or is he going to trust? Hezekiah prays to God. He pleads for God's mercy. God answers in a fascinating way in 2 Kings 19. We learn years later that Hezekiah develops this fatal illness. He's told to prepare for his death in 2 Kings chapter 20. But once again, Hezekiah pleads for God's mercy. He prays and asks God for deliverance, and God answers. Not only does he promise 15 more years of life, but he actually traces back the shadow of the sun 10 steps back up the king's staircase. And once again, that's in 2 Kings 20. But after his recovery, Hezekiah makes a very serious mistake. The Babylonians hear about his recovery. They send him gifts, and so Hezekiah invites them to come and see his kingdom. We're told that out of pride, Hezekiah shows these men all the treasures that God has blessed Hezekiah with for all these years. And it's there in 2 Chronicles 32:31 that we read this statement. God left him to test him and show what was in his heart. What makes Hezekiah's mistake so tragic is not only that the Babylonians would be the ones to later conquer Judah and take everything that was in that treasury, but what is so tragic is that Hezekiah's pride was revealed after he had already trusted God in tremendous ways. Hezekiah's greatest enemy was not some Assyrian army, not even a fatal illness. It was his pride and foolishness that would later destroy the kingdom. No doubt, we need to pray for the communities around us and for the areas hit so hard by the coronavirus. And we can trust God's care and timing just like Hezekiah did, regardless if he brings rescue or not. But I think there's a greater threat out there in store for us than COVID-19. It's the potential as God's people to trust God now, but then forsake him later. You see, Hezekiah's recovery showed what was in his heart. His rescue became his test. And perhaps as we pray, we need to prepare ourselves for the same truth. You think about it.